Hey Ophiuchus Seeker, welcome to Leo season and to the Existential Shift. Ophiuchus. If you're new to Ophiuchus and or to my channel, watch my Ophiuchus playlist, especially the first couple of videos, because the introduction there really explains my view on Ophiuchus and what you can expect. Okay? This is also for Seeker 13. 9 of Cups. Ophiuchus. On the simplicity of what you want, really? Well, that's refreshing. All right. Why complicate things when you can just allow your emotions, the truth of your emotions, lead you to the right place? 8 of Cups and then King of Cups. A lot of water, a lot of emotion. Some of you, Cancer season, flooded your entire system and has made you realize exactly what it is your heart wishes to focus on, what matters, and also the way, where to exert energy and when to let go and allow. I think you've reached some sort of mastery, let's say that, when it comes to your emotional realms, or at least when it comes to acknowledging how you feel and knowing what you want, which is big. It's not something everyone can say. I know everyone thinks they know what they want, but no. 6 of Pentacles. Things are starting to look better for you financially as you make room for it emotionally, as you let go of a lot of wishes and wants that you've had that took a lot of space in your vessel, in your sphere. And now there's room for some abundance to come in. Finances, payments, projects, well-paying ones. And you're like, where's all this luck coming from? It was around you all along, waiting to come in. It was too clogged. You can't fill a cup with clean water if it's full of muddy waters, or any liquid. Once you pour some out, and some can come in. And that is what you have been doing or are doing right now. You're watching your wishes let go of you. Which is interesting, right? Normally we think, oh, we need to watch our wish. We need to let go of our certain wishes. Not all wishes are benevolent for us, right? But it's like your wishes are, you're watching them letting go of you, meaning there's no more glue, right? You're not that, you don't have that glue in you that kept them attached or even able frequency-wise to be within you. It's no longer fitting for you. When something is no longer resonating with our frequency, there's no need to let go, to release, to cut, to stop, to quit, to to end. It just naturally ends. It just leaves your vicinity like a repelling magnet. It has no room. There's no effort put into letting go of something that is just not if you have to fight to let go of something, right, or to end something, it means that you're still aligned with its frequency. And I don't mean, oh, if you're in love with someone who's not reciprocating, then as long as you're in love with them, it means they're in your frequency and it means that they love you too. No, that's not what I meant. Sorry. It means that you're no longer in the frequency of attachment to something that doesn't love you. You're no longer in the frequency of low self-esteem. You're no longer in the frequency that believes you have to chase things down in order to prove yourself worthy to them and convince them to love you. Because that was the thing that kept you glued to one-sided emotions. Does that make sense? That's what you were attached. That's what you were frequency a match to. It's not that you were. If you're still obsessed, perhaps not all of you, but I'm just giving like an extreme example. You could just have feelings for. I'm not saying that you're obsessed, but even if you are, you can be obsessed with someone that doesn't care about you. And as long as you are obsessed or attached, it doesn't mean, again, just to clarify so there's no confusion, it doesn't mean that they're meant to be with you because, well, I'm still into them, so that means we have the same frequency, that means it's meant to be. No, do not distort what I'm saying to fit your narrative to keep staying stuck. Not going to give you that. Sorry. Love you too much for that. You were of the same frequency of what I said earlier. Just rewind. A match to feeling this way and being in a place that doesn't give you back. Okay? The good news is that no more. Or at least you're working on that, you're realizing what it means. And again, which is why I always, myself and good spiritual teachers will tell you that if you want to not love something bad for you, focus on loving something that is good for you. All right? Don't put resistance. Don't try to force yourself to not feel something. That's impossible. Don't think about the elephant. Okay, you know what? You see what I'm getting at? You got to put your focus into something, obviously. Just change the course of the stream. Instead of wanting or wishing or loving or desiring, and it could be anything. It can be love. It could be really anything, right? That doesn't necessarily does you good. But don't fight it. Don't resist it. Don't reject it. It's not going to work. This is about you and your frequency. Okay? So direct it to what is benefic for you, is loving for you, is reciprocated for you, and so on. Don't insist on talking to the person that never answers you. Cooperate with the person that does answer you. Whether you're into them or not, or you want them or not, or you care about them or not, it's not even about them. No offense. It's about you showing your system and the universe, frequency-wise, right? Energy-wise. And it's also psychological. You're also telling that to your brain. I'm focusing on things that focus on me. I'm focusing on people who focus on me. So even if it's not specifically meant to be with this person, your system, you're working on rewiring it. It's a muscle to practice. Train your system. That's also witchcraft. There's a lot of confusion when it comes to witchcraft today. There's the immediate assumption that it's about stirring some ingredients and lighting a candle. And it's also about that, and that's a ceremonial, symbolic aspect of it, and it's also beautiful and cool, but it's not the real, raw core of witchcraft. Would you look at that? Who's that? Knight of Cups. So much more light-hearted and sweet and fun. Sorry, it's like the entire world as well. Waking up. Good morning. Good morning. Be quiet. So much more lighthearted, easygoing, flowing, expressing love from a place that is pleasant, as opposed to from a place that might be needy. It gives a very different vibe to people. It's not just romantic. This can apply to work interview and opportunities, etc. People don't like to feel clenched. You don't like to feel clenched. There's such great balancing happening for you guys this season. Show me more, please, for Ophiuchus. High Priestess. Nice. Cool. You're cool, Ophi. You understand the beauty and power and spirit in silence, in mystery, in not putting all of your cards on the table. No, it doesn't mean sincerity and honesty. You can be sincere and honest in a quiet, calm way. You can feed your guests without filling every little part of the table, because then that might be overwhelming and a waste of food. And there's no room to actually put your plate and eat, because it's all. In minimalism, the grandiose in minimalism, you know? The power of cleanliness. Some say cleanliness is divine. You know, whether it's our space, the room, or the mind. How when you take time to consider, things happen way faster. Right? Sometimes we're in a hurry for things to happen, to manifest, to become. So we do a lot. And we are in a hurry, right? But then it only pushes things back and makes things happen slower, ironically. As opposed to when you allow yourself to observe and possibly plan and let information come to you, the pieces of the puzzle just fall into place naturally and without an effort, and then faster. Do without doing and all will be done. It's a Taoistic phrase. Someone is correcting me. Tao. Maybe in your accent and in your language you say Tao, but originally it's T-A-O, Tao, Taoism. We all ought to be very cautious with imposing our language or our interpretation based in our language on source and origin of things. Show me more, please. And justice, the High Priestess and justice, that's big energy. That is big truth. Very clear, very sharp, very accurate. There isn't a single word that isn't absolutely necessary that is said or spoken. There isn't a single letter or a comma that is being put that isn't absolutely necessary. Clarity. because the idea and the essence are so big and so important. If you over embellish them, it's already hard to focus and to grasp this idea or this energy or this message or truth already. So if you add complications, even if they're pretty complications, but still, it takes away from focus on the essence, and that essence needs a lot of focus to be understood. Simplicity, minimalism. Some of you are planning to leave something and you do so quietly. Possibly a breakup, possibly a divorce, possibly quitting. You're planning, you're doing this behind the scenes. Four of Swords, you're waiting for the right time. You're gathering information. For some of you, building a case. Making sure you have all the information, all the proofs, all the statements. Some of you, it's about writing something. Ten of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Again, this will come up again. Don't hold on to the unnecessary. It will be a waste of time, a waste of energy, and it will weaken your ground. I'm going to give you a very simple example. If you're talking to a judge, don't go overly into the emotion and just focus on the facts. Focus on the factual details. Bringing the paperwork and all the documents. If you're drafting an offer or a statement, again, don't overdo it. Don't go into lengthy explanations. Clean, factual. It will be too much for the ear, for someone, or for whoever is relevant. Magician. I love it when we have the High Priestess and the Magician in a reading. So very powerful, and so much magic comes through. You are so capable and so talented, and you're able to manifest something very, very big that will last for a long time right now. It is important that you play your cards right. It is important that you play your cards, okay? Inaction is also strategic. Inaction is also an action, right? So, who are you quoting, Morgane? Me. I just said it. If I'm quoting someone, I'm going to tell you that I'm quoting someone. I always say. I recognize people sometimes speak and they quote someone and they don't say it's a quote. They say it in the conversation as if they're saying it, and I'm like, anyway. The Magician. You have an opportunity to make something big come to pass. But there are so many curveballs. And those curveballs are just around because they're always around. They can only affect you if you grab them, if you catch them. Just evade them, with ease, with nonchalance. Sorry. Say something when you need to say it. Do something when you need to do it. Feel something when you need to feel it. And don't do anything when you're not supposed to do anything. Keep quiet and wait. Really just think before every move. What is the absolute necessity right now for this situation? Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking about right now, allow the month to play out. Come back to this reading in a few weeks from now, 2-3 weeks. Trust me, it will all look really, really, really poignant. And I do recommend generally to do so with all my readings, to come back to them mid-month, mid-season, or a little after, when things are already unfolding and at the height of the energies, and you can strongly connect the dots and benefit from it and learn from it and be guided by it. So my readings tend to be something you want to watch 2 or 3 times. So I'm not saying you have to watch all my readings 2-3 times, obviously, but the ones that strike a chord, that you know are meaningful, I do recommend doing so. You can just save it to the archive or something. Your extended will focus on your love life. We'll look into you and your person of interest, the dynamic between you and them, and also how things actually will unfold throughout the month. And we will pull runes. Also, we'll do a rune reading for you. It's available below in the description box on Vimeo and on Patreon. Consider checking out Patreon. I would love for you to join. And if you want to study tarot from me, I have a tarot masterclass. It's called Tarot Masterclass Bunkai. Link to that is also below. It's one of my greatest works, and people seem to respond really well to it. So check it out. Two of Pentacles. You might encounter a dilemma of where to go. You might be considering leaving some place or going somewhere in order to help manifest this or achieve whatever this is. 5 of Cups. There's a tendency for pessimism and for doubt that you should be cautious of, because that's the thing that will fail you. Other than that, there's a lot of potential and a lot of power and a lot of great energy for you this month. And the only thing that can set you back is if you tell yourself that you can't, or you convince yourself that you can't just because you want a good excuse to wallow at the bar. Okay? It's not going to help you. So again, instead of focusing on resistance and I should not go to the bar and I'm a bad person for going to the bar and blah, 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 just direct the energy, mind, actions, heart, on the productivity, on the things that can benefit you. Just focus on them, do them, and then that other thing will just phase out. The bar is just an example, it could be anything. Anything else to conclude before we move on to the extended for Ophiuchus? 3 of Cups. Yeah, some of you, bottom of the deck, the Star. Okay. There's a sense of celebrating something, like a creative achievement of some sort. If you're a performer or an artist, maybe booking something big or being seen in the public eye. There's a sense of being honored somehow, celebrated. Could be in a ceremony, could be in an award, recognition somehow. It involves a lot of people, so you're in the public eye somehow. It's something that you have little faith of. You're not sure it's going to work out. You have a lot of doubts, and then boom, it comes through, and you're like, okay. And it's somewhat of a fulfillment. It's very fantastical. Something that will bring you a lot of happiness. So stay the course this month. It's going to be worth it. Okay, guys, I will see you in a second. If you're new to my channel and this was helpful or you simply enjoyed it, then consider subscribing. Join the Existential Shift.